Alright, it's now time for the Bristol weekend review. So let's go through the races that happened this weekend, with all three having playoff action. So first race we're going to talk about is the truck race at Bristol, the opening race of the truck chase. Probably one of the better races all weekend. Like, there was a lot of different leaders in this race. There was a lot of comers and goers in this race. But the biggest surprise of the season, 17-year-old Sam Mayer is officially a winner in the NASCAR Gander Truck Series, nabbing his first career win. So we opened the chase with a non-chaser winning. What the? And if anyone's wondering, Sam Mayer does have a part-time ride with Junior Motorsports in 2021 in the 8 car, for the many drivers that share that ride. So yeah, the young kid has a bright future. Now he probably is going to be able to run full-time in trucks next year. The one problem is he's going to have to wait because he isn't 18 yet, because you can't run full-time in trucks until you're 18. But yeah, this young kid, Sam Mayer, has a bright future ahead of him. But in the truck race, though, Brett Moffitt, Sheldon Creed, Shane Smith, Grant Enfinger, and Tyler Ankrum all had solid runs, all got solid points days, which is what they needed. While Eckes and Gilliland both struggled. So yeah, with Mayer's win, that means nobody moves on to the round of 10. So nobody advances. Maybe next week in Vegas. But yeah, also in other news this week, we also found out that IndyCar is going to be running another street circuit next year. Running on the streets in Nashville. I actually like the circuit layout. It actually looks pretty cool. They're mainly going to be also running around the parking lot and around Nissan Stadium, which is where the Tennessee Titans play at in Nashville. And the craziest thing is that they're going to be running on one of the famous bridges in Nashville. I always say for that bridge is they better have a lot of catch fencing up for it. Because that's going to be a high-speed area on the track, and yeah, that has every capacity to be a dangerous crash. And they better put some safer barriers on the wall for the bridge, too. So that if a car goes airborne, they don't go right into the river. Because the river's not a nice landing. That's an understatement. And if anyone's wondering, yes, Jimmy Johnson is running that race, too, next year. Since Jimmy said he is doing the street circuits and road courses. And I guess the Rovals, too. So yeah, another race for Jimmy Johnson in IndyCar. Hooray. Since it's announced that Jimmy Johnson also is going to IndyCar for the next 2 years. With Chip Ganassi Racing. So Jimmy Johnson's plan to fuck off from NASCAR and head to IndyCar for the remainder of his career is now complete. But yeah, for everyone else, so yeah, IndyCar, of course, not going to be back until fucking the Roval doubleheader. And of course, next week it's F1 in Russia. A big race for F1. As Lewis Hamilton is one win away from giving the Boomers an ultimate meltdown. I can't wait. But yeah, for everyone else this weekend, thank you for playing. But now this week, we get to the real races this weekend that matter. So the first race we're going to talk about is the Xfinity race at Bristol. So here's the situation. There's one spot left in the Xfinity chase grid. So Brandon Brown is very simple. He just needs to have a solid day, stay out of trouble. Just do what he does all year. Run mediocre and he's in. Since he's up by 49 points. For Jeremy Clements, he either needs to have a solid run and hope Brandon Brown has issues, or he needs to win the race. Everybody else, it's very simple. Win, and you're in. So yeah, let's go through this race. So, the first half of this race, it was the Justin Allgaier show. So yeah, Allgaier wins the first 2 stages, has the best car in the field with no end in sight. And then bad luck strikes Allgaier in the ass again. God damn it, you hate to see that. And Allgaier's been having a really solid run as of late. Damn it. So yeah, after all that, for the rest of the race, the battle ended up being between Ross Chastain, Austin Cindric, and Chase Briscoe. Those three would put on a great battle for the win in the closing laps. But Chase Briscoe in the closing laps would go from third to first, get past the both of them. Briscoe would get to hold him off and get the win. So Chastain almost wins the race this year, but falls short. Damn. But yeah, Chase Briscoe ends the regular season as he started it by winning. He just wins. He wins. So yeah, Briscoe really continuing to have a solid year. But of course, also throughout this race, both Clements and Brandon Brown ran around top 10, top 15 all night. Like top 15, top 20 all night. But in the end, Brandon Brown would finish 11th, while Jeremy Clements would finish 12th. So with that, it means that Brandon Brown will lock up the 12th and final chase spot. And this means Jeremy Clements is officially eliminated from chase contention. I mean, it's two shitmobiles battling for it, so yeah, it didn't even matter which one made it in. They're gonna be out in the first round anyway. So yeah, Brandon Brown, welcome to the chase. Here's your participation trophy. At least you made it. That's all that matters. But yeah, anyway, that's not the only race that mattered this weekend, because we have the Cup race at Bristol. Of course, the final race of round 1, as there are 9 spots still up for grabs, with the only drivers locked in being Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, and Denny Hamlin. So stage 1 of this race, Keselowski would get the early lead, but Chase Elliott was able to have a solid car the first part of the race. Chase Elliott would win stage 1, but also in stage 1, Logano would get enough points, so Logano would lock himself in after the first stage of the race. So after stage 1, there are now 8 spots left now in the chase. Stage 2, it became the Kyle Busch show. Kyle Busch would take stage 2. Kyle Busch would win stage 2, but Kyle Busch's points also lock, and the stage win also gives Kyle enough points where Kyle locks himself into the round of 12. So now there's 7 spots left. Also in stage 2, William Byron would get involved in a wreck with lap traffic. And this wreck would end Byron's hopes at moving on, as this wreck officially means that Byron is now eliminated. So it seems like William Byron used everything he had left in the tank to win Daytona just to get in the chase. And when the chase started, he just had next to nothing left in the tank. Like, he did have the top 5 run at Darlington, and yeah, that was about it. Crying shame. Byron at least won a race, which was 2 steps forward, but him being eliminated in the first round is 1 step back. Don't worry, Byron. You'll be back here next year, and you'll probably win another race if your win opens the door to win more in the future. But also, we should mention that also after stage 2, Martin Truex Jr., Austin Dillon, Chase Elliott, and Alex Bowman would also get enough points, so those 4 would lock themselves in the round of 8-12. Which means entering the third and final stage, we have 3 spots left in this chase. So throughout most of the night, Ryan Blaney could not get the job done, as he ran around mid to 20s all night, ran mid-pack, just struggled all night. So with this run, it means that Ryan Blaney is now officially eliminated. Wasn't Blaney supposed to be a championship contender this year? Because it seems that Blaney just went flat in the chase. Well, Blaney's chase started with him in a 10-point hole when he failed pre-race inspection for the ballast and had to start at the rear. And it seems like after that, Blaney just couldn't recover and just collapsed. Damn, that's just... Damn, you know, Blaney had a really solid year, but it's disappointing to see him go out in round 1 like that. Disappointing, what a crying shame. So Blaney is out after the first round. But yeah, mainly the third stage of this race, it was just mainly between a battle between Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch for the win. Meanwhile, Eric Almirola would end up in the top 5 by default. Because by the end of the race, we only had 6 cars on the lead lap. And Almirola happened to be one of them. So yeah, in the closing laps, Almirola would do enough to lock himself into the round of 12. So he moves on. Meaning there's now 2 spots left in the chase grid. Kurt Busch also had a solid night, stayed out of trouble. So yeah, Kurt Busch also gets enough points to lock himself into the round of 12. Meaning there's now 1 spot left. Also, Cole Custer ran around top 20 all night. Struggled for most of the night. So yeah, with that struggling run, it also means that Cole Custer is officially eliminated. Let's not be too shocked about Custer. I don't think anyone had big expectations for him. This was mainly a learning experience for Custer as a rookie. We all knew Custer was going to be a round 1 elimination. And he was going to like it. But at least Custer's still Rookie of the Year. Because he happened to be the only rookie to make the chase. So yeah, in the closing laps, Matt DiBenedetto would be the first car in 7th, 1 lap down. And DiBenedetto ended up in a situation late where he needed the free pass and a caution so he can have a shot to win the race. That opportunity never comes. Of course, Kyle Busch would initially get the lead back from Harvick in lap traffic. But Harvick would then get the lead back in lap traffic, mainly from Joey Logano getting right up in Kyle Busch's lane. So in other words, we have the Newman DiBenedetto situation from last year. Only difference is that Logano doesn't stuff Kyle Busch in the wall. I will say this though. Lab cars, if the leaders are coming and you know damn well they're faster than you, get out of the fucking way. I'm serious, folks. I think, here's what I think. From now on, if a lab car gets in the way, give them the black flag. If they refuse to let the leader by. Like, goddamn. Like, we should just black flag lab cars if they don't let the leader by. But yeah. So Harvick will get the lead back. Kyle Busch would make one last attempt. But Kyle can't seal the deal. So Harvick closes it out and gets another win this year. That's now 9 wins for Harvick this year. And that's 2 wins for Harvick in this round. So this round ends the way it begins. With Harvick in victory lane. So yeah, with that, Quinn Boyer would get the 12th and final spot into the round of 12. And Matt DiBenedetto would be officially eliminated. Let's be real, DiBenedetto. Your only hope of making it to the round of 12 was winning Bristol. And you failed. If you didn't win Bristol, you weren't moving on to the round of 12. But yeah, and for Clint Boyer getting into the round of 12, oh, Stewart-Haas Racing, this was the worst thing to ever happen to you. Because with Boyer moving on to the round of 12, that might be enough for Boyer to get a contract extension in the 14 car. Since all Stewart-Haas wants to be is a boys' club. Unless Tony and Gene Haas do the right thing in the next spot and tell Boyer to fuck off and give that ride to Kyle Larson. Or Briscoe, whoever they fancy. But yeah, anyway, 4 drivers have been eliminated. And your round of 12 will consist of Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, Martin Truex Jr., Austin Dillon, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, Kyle Busch, Eric Almirola, Kurt Busch, and Clint Boyer. Those 12 move on as we head into Las Vegas next week. for the start of round of 12. And next week also we'll start the Xfinity chase. But anyway, before we wrap this up, let's take a look at the truck points heading into Vegas. So here are the Truck Series points involving the 10 Truck Series drivers entering Vegas, the second race of the Truck Series chase. So you got Moffitt 36 above the cutoff line, a solid points day for him. Sean Creed 28 above the cutoff line. You got Saint Smith 25 above the cutoff line. Envinger 24 above the cutoff line. Ankrum had another solid run on a short track. Ankrum really got these short tracks figured out. Ankrum gets 19 above the cutoff line. You got Matt Crafton, the reigning champ, 13 above the cutoff line. Ben Rhodes and Austin Hill both had struggling runs. They're both 6 and 2 points above the cutoff line, respectively, in the last 2 spots. So really the last 2 spots is when this thing gets really interesting. And you got Christian Eckes 2 points out and Gillen 8 points out. I honestly expect Gillen to be that far out already, since Gillen's in a crapmobile truck and he's going to struggle on speed. Like, Gillen's only hope of making it to the round of 8 is winning at Talladega. And I highly doubt that, but you never know, because 2020's been a fucked up year. But with all that said there, it's time to do some things here. Because on the Xfinity side, Jeremy Clements, Alex LeBay, Josh Williams, Myatt Snyder, Jesse Little, Tommy Joe Martin, BJ McLeod, and Joe Graff Jr. They have all arrived at Elimination Station. And for that, they're going somewhere different. Because for these 8 names, these 8 souls, for their failures of making the Xfinity chase, their failures of winning a race this year, their failures of being consistent enough, having a consistent season, and their failures of having a shot to compete for the Xfinity Championship, consider their names written down in the death note, as their seasons have been absolutely deleted. But hold up, we're not done just yet with that. Because William Byron, Cole Custer, Ryan Blaney, and Matt DiBenedetto can take out the Metro cards and get their asses aboard the L train. But of course that ride on that train will be short-lived, as they have also arrived at Elimination Station. And for that, they're going in the same place those 8 Xfinity drivers are going also. Because for these 4, for their failures of making it past the round of 16, their failures of getting a win in the first round of the chase, their failures of being consistent enough to move on to the round of 12, and their failures to have a shot at not have a shot at competing for a championship this year. Consider their names also written down in the death note, as their seasons have been absolutely deleted.
There's only one thing left to do. Gotta write their names in the death note. Delete.
Delete. Delete. Delete. Delete. Delete. Delete. Delete. Delete. Delete. Deletion.
You will rest in peace.